Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink. Kathleen Gramzay is back for our Wednesday Wellness series. And today we're talking about the third element of resilience. It's commitment and how it fuels resilience, both personally and professionally. So Kathleen, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. It's so much fun. I love that we're talking about what we can do and really, once we understand what's going on that takes us off track, really how to fuel our resilience. So in this particular one, we're talking about commitment, and commitment really is our why, right? It's the purpose behind what we do, why we do it. And resilient people are committed to their lives and their goals. And it gives us a compelling reason to get out of bed, right? There are days we need a very compelling reason to get out of bed. At least I do. So it's not just restricted to work, right? It's resilient people are committed to ourselves, they're committed to our families, our relationships, our spiritual beliefs, or our practices, or our personal values, or community values, right? It's all those things that fuel us and give meaning to life. I think, honestly, Lindsay, I think you're a great example of this, truly, because you're committed to your family, you're committed to your role as CMO at Fenimore, and here's your huge extra, oh, by the way, commitment, which is A to Z BizLink, which then provides education and resources to our business community. And then if that's not enough, then you also have all these boards, you do all this great stuff with nonprofits. So I don't know that you've ever actually looked at that, but do you feel that contributes to your resilience?
I've never thought about it through that lens, but maybe I should. I thank you for saying all that. That was so nice and super thoughtful. But no, I'm following, those are my passion projects. So it easily shows up, and it's certainly something that I've committed to. But now that you mention it, as I think a little bit more about it, there are times where you're tired or you're like, wow, there's been a lot going on. It'd be nice if I just didn't have all this stuff on my plate. But when we power through it and we focus on daily tasks and probably build that resilience, it certainly has helped me to get through it and keep me on track, because those are my passion projects and my commitments.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Because we know that really, like you're saying, it feeds you, right? So it's the rich soil of our commitments are really the rich soil of our life that allows us to make it through the struggles, make it through the challenges, make it through the problem solving that we got to do. Like, okay, how am I going to do all these 12 projects? Right? You're just talking about it. So to your point, though, about having lots on your plate, one of the silver linings that I've heard from many people that is really the result of COVID, a blessing, a silver lining of it, is we've had the opportunity, or taken the opportunity, to pause and really look at our commitments, right? And really either define or redefine what's important to us in our lives, right? Where do we want to spend our time and our energy? What is the most important thing? And it's interesting because I heard this woman recently, and she's got a lot going on, lots of challenges. And she said, just kind of casually, she's like, I'm too stressed to be blessed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. It didn't mean that she's not stressed, right? And it didn't mean that she wasn't going through or she was denying her challenges. What it meant was her bigger picture, her bigger why of her life keeps her focused enough to be able to work through the challenges, no matter how daunting. And I think this is really a beautiful opportunity that we all have to now redefine, if you haven't defined them, to redefine what's important, right? What do we want to commit to?
Well, I'm definitely going to steal that phrase, too blessed to be stressed. I think that is awesome. But, as I hear you talk, I think there's some great challenges in there, because a lot of individuals that I know, whether that's on the personal or professional side, we've had to reevaluate our commitments, but we're kind of in this spot where we're a little stuck. So for those individuals feeling stuck and needing help with pushing through and moving forward, what tips, what advice or challenges do you have for those individuals this week?
This week is I've made up a word. I call it contemplan, right? Because strategy is too heavy. Like, everything feels like work. But contemplan is like, what do I want? And so I'm going to invite everybody to contemplan this week, which means sit down, give yourself some relaxing time. It's a long holiday weekend. Maybe it's a perfect time to do it, right? Grab a cup of whatever, and then sit down and think and write down your answers to asking yourself, what in life is most important to me now? Maybe it's changed, right? What's most important to me personally? What's most important to me professionally? What's most important to me self-care, spiritually, in all of that deeper sense of what's important to me? And then socially. And ask yourself for each one of those, write that down, look at it, and then say, what am I committed to do to enrich that aspect and achieve these goals? And then just write out at least one action step for both, or both for them, for all of them. And let that be the beginning of your content plan on commitment to yourself for a more joyful, more resilient life.
Wonderful. Well, Kathleen, as we like to wrap up today's conversation, is there anything else you'd like to leave our audience with?
Let it be light. Let it be a new start. Let it be fun. Let it be energizing.
I love that. Kathleen, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of the Wednesday Wellness.
My pleasure. See you soon.